Good. We're live. Okay. It's on you.
Hey, I almost didn't do this podcast. I need a cut, man. I ain't know if I wanted to represent myself like that, but then I was like, good. Done is better than perfect. So let's go on, get on up out here. You know what I'm saying? I gotta hit my barber up. I usually do it myself, but for these podcasts, man, I'm gonna have to get some professional work done.
It's because you've been gone, you've been traveling, but you're back now. So you were in Vegas last week. Talk about that.
Oh, man, I was in Vegas last week for the IBS Builder trade show. Met a lot of vendors. That was my main purpose for going out there. Still, I learned a lot also, too, from some of those classes, the workshops that was out there. Did some networking, met a couple people. But my main reason for going was to meet vendors. And I went to go meet my main vendor. It was a good day. We got to chop it up, and got the chance to look at some of the stuff I'll be ordering from them.
So what type of vendors are at these type of conventions?
Man, everything. From kitchen and bath, windows and doors, exterior, interior, modular. Anything that you could possibly think of on a house. Home warranty people, like every single vendor was there. I underestimated it. This is my first time going. I have been trying to get to them for years, but this is my first time going, and it's 4 days long. And it's 4 days long because you need 4 days. It's like, I don't know if y'all ever been to the Las Vegas Convention Center, but it's like 4 or 5 different buildings.
Oh, wow.
And it's probably a 8 to 10 minute walk to each one of them. And in one building, you got, probably over 100, 200 vendors. You go into each one, you talking to them. Like, it takes a while to get through it. So you definitely need the whole 4 days.
So how did you kind of make your selection process in deciding like which vendors you want to work with or use for this upcoming project? How do you narrow it down from the hundreds to just a few?
Well, that's another thing. So 1, the presentation. 2, the material. That's good. That's one thing about the trade show. You get to touch, see, and feel the material. You get to see the quality of the finish. You get to look at the vendors in their eyes, see if they're authentic. Everybody's kind of singing the same song, hey, try my product. And what I was doing, I was going up to vendors like, hey, what makes your product different? Kitchen and bathrooms, it's 100 more vendors with kitchen and bathrooms. So I'm trying to cut to the chase, like, what makes your product different? Am I saving on price? Is it free shipping? Like, what is the incentive? So that's kind of how I was approaching the vendors and just cutting straight to the chase. But to answer your first question, what I was looking for, I'm in the middle of a project right now. So I'm looking for specific things for this particular project. Windows and doors, railing, flooring, street signs, park benches, mailboxes, things like that. So I'm just lining all my vendors up so when it comes time, I can get them ordered ahead of time so they can be on site and we can put them in the ground.
Okay, so I know you said that you found a particular vendor that you were going to go with. We're not going to say the company's name, but what made you choose them versus, working with a local company that's in Atlanta or in Chattanooga? Like, how are you saving and, more on that?
Well, number one, relationships. So I was going to use a particular GC on a previous project, and he had been using them for years. So he put me and another one of my friends on to that company, and then my friend just finished up building a $2.5 million mansion, Airbnb, and he was kind of the guinea pig, and it turned out well. It turned out nice, and also too. The reason why I chose these vendors, they came to my office a couple months ago, and then I went out to the Builders Trade Show to meet them, look them in their eyes, see what they have, and it's just building that rapport. They did a good job for my guy Lefty, and they did a good job for Dennis. He had been using them for years, so that's why I chose that particular vendor because, for one, just relationships.
And I know that they're a foreign builder. They're, I think, located in China. Do you worry as far as like shipping or backlog? Like, do you have any of those concerns?
No, man. I'm a solutionist, so I don't think doomsday. Of course, we I always think about the downside, but I mean, I've had a local supply house f- me over. So, I mean, what's the worst? I mean, I'm not scared to go out and, explore other options. Another thing, too, I think the reason why, you know, I've traveled the world, like internationally. So the world is not, working with somebody internationally is not like a big feat for me. Like, I mean, it's just, the world is, I mean, we tapping in. That's how the world is right now.
Right.
If you got a better price than this over there, and all I got to worry about is, the 3 month, sale time to get over here, shipping over here, I just order them in advance, So my whole thing is, man, we got to find a way to build these houses more efficiently. I mean, material prices are getting, astronomical. So
Right.
it's either we eat it or the buyers eat it. So instead of us eating it or the buyers eating, I created a win-win. We're just going to go get a better supplier.
Do you think, I know that they priced you and gave you a quote for windows. How much did you save versus using like a different company?
So, man, my GC quoted me $1.6 million on windows and doors for this particular development. The quote I got from my supplier was $223,000.
Wow.
So that saved me around $1.4 million on two line items, windows and doors.
Nice.
So you can see how that saves a project, just by going that extra mile, that other people aren't willing to go.
So what would you say like your 3 takeaways are from the conference? What did you find most interesting from the workshops to the people you met, from the vendors, like 3 main things?
3 main things I took from the Builders Conference. One is, build a relationship with your vendors, so you can feel comfortable when you're doing business because, I don't know if y'all have ever done, pre-order materials, but it's a 50% deposit up front. And then it's a 50%, you pay the remaining 50%, once they done packaging everything and they send you pictures and stuff like that. So, we talking $223,000 that I'm sending out on windows and doors. So it's worth it to go that extra mile, to go to Vegas, to meet them, to look them in their eyes, and to have them come into my office, just building that rapport. They know me by name. I know them by name. Also, I'm planning to go to their shop over in China.
Nice.
Just check that out. I just want to keep building that relationship, and pretty soon we'll have multiple vendors over there. It's not just China. We have vendors from Vietnam there that does cabinets. They send the flat packs over, So I mean, we're trying to really think this thing out to where, we're building the best product for the best price in the most efficient time.
Got it. Nice. So let's talk Valentina Estates. I know that you met up with your civil engineers. Talk about your last meeting. I know the homes were changed with their permits, so they're now being considered condos. Speak about that.
So what we got right now is a horizontal property regime, and what that means is the buyers have condo ownership. We'll have an HOA, take care of the common grounds, things like that. And in Chattanooga, the horizontal property regime, a part of that is because the main ordinance is you can't have a row of houses that don't have road frontage. But with a horizontal property regime, that ordinance is excused, so you can kind of do what you want. So with condo ownership, they'll own the structure, they won't own the land, it'll be common ground. You'll pay a HOA fee.
And was this what you were hoping for? Did you want it to get permitted as a single family home, or was it like a setback for you to get it as a condo? What are your thoughts?
No, it's not a setback at all. I mean, we just had to get it done. I mean, it's a new product, so any way we could get in, we was willing to make it happen. Because I use myself as an example. I own houses fee simple. If y'all don't know what fee simple is, that means I own the structure and the land. And I've owned stuff in the condo ownership. I mean, it really doesn't matter to me. When I'm at the condo in Tennessee, I don't have to do any ground maintenance in it, you know what I'm saying? And in my houses where I own it fee simple, I have to have my property manager come cut the grass. And, you know, we own land around the city, and it's vacant land. People dump stuff on the land. We got to go clean it up. So, you know, it's give and take on both ends.
So what other avenues have you tapped into at the moment besides Valentina Estates? What other rental properties or things do you have going on at the moment?
We're getting ready to start the Cali townhomes, which is just 4 townhomes.
Where are those located?
Those are around the corner from Valentina Estates. So we're bringing 100 homes to market this year, within a 5-mile radius in the Eastdale community. So I think that equates to around 30 to 40. Well, I say about $30 million in development on that one side of town. It's gonna be a good day, and we're right there at we're getting our LDP, we're getting our comments back. So Valentina, once we get our LDP, we can start clearing the trees, clearing the land, get some momentum over there. The Cali townhomes, that land is already flat. I just got my stamp plans back yesterday from my surveyor. So and I'm sending them to my civil. So, yeah, man, we rolling. We're going to start both of these things up at the same time. The Cali Townhomes is already funded. We closed on that loan about 2 months ago just to go ahead and get it out the way. And the reason why we did that is because we don't have any holding interest. So until we take the first draw, we're not getting charged interest. So that's been put up on the shelves until we go through the steps to get everything fully entitled so we can start the townhome project.
Nice. And when do you think those will be listed for sale? Like once they're finished and built and able to list?
The townhomes is build to rent. So me and my cousin, we're keeping those townhomes in the portfolio.
Nice.
That'll be attainable housing. We'll try to get some subsidies from the city to try to keep the rent down. Just try to help out the community. Revitalizing it as well as providing safe, clean housing at a attainable price. So. City of Chattanooga, if y'all listening, we coming for you. We need some grants. We need to help out the people, all right? And we need y'all help.
So just talking more about that, what do you think, because, you have your car wash, you have Valentina, you have the single families next to Valentina, and now you have the Cali townhomes. What are you hoping that all of this brings to like the Eastdale area and just to Chattanooga? Are you trying to make living more attainable for people, or just what's your goal?
Well, I got a couple goals. One, definitely make living more attainable, but that's not a one-man job. I think that's a community effort. I mean, we need the leaders in the community. We need the people of the community that lives in these neighborhoods. We need the city council members. We need the mayor. We need it's a group effort to kind of tackle that big of a task. I feel like I'm doing my part with what we're doing. So I don't believe in only one thing. When I'm talking about revitalizing these communities, I'm saying, hey, we can have luxury, we can have attainable, we can have mid-tier. We don't need all low income anything, so I've lived that experiment. It don't work. We grew up in the West Side, so when you put everybody out and we're all in survival mode, nobody's really dreaming. Everybody's just thinking about how to get through the day, how to get through the week, how to get through the month. So, but I feel like when you have a mixed environment to where you have, you got your doctors and lawyers, you got your people that are coming up, you got your college students, you got your blue collar workers. And I think within that mix, you could get inspired because when I was 12 years old and I was coming out the house, I didn't see anything that inspired me. You know what I'm saying? It was a war zone, everybody in survival mode. But just imagine if 12-year-old me walked outside and saw the doctor kissing his wife who's a lawyer.
Right.
You can get inspired. Like, oh, okay, that's an option.
Right.
Like right now, I'm a real estate developer, entrepreneur, but I didn't even think this was a thing. Because we didn't see it.
Right.
So exposure is key.
So just kind of touching more on that, I know you had your daughter here in the office earlier. Just kind of speaking on your legacy and everything that you have. What do you hope to leave to your kids? Like, do you hope that they get into real estate? Do you kind of want to leave the properties for them? I know you said you're going to keep Cali townhomes as kind of like a rental income thing. So are you interested in getting your kids into real estate at some point, or
for
leaving
sure.
them behind?
I don't know if you heard me and my daughter's conversation. The whole conversation was to get her to leave college and come here and work. I'm telling you, I'm like, yo, the purpose, so I'm reverse engineering the questions to her, like, yo, what's the purpose of going to college? To get a job.
What is she studying?
She's computer science, but I'm being funny, but of course, at the end of the day, I'm gonna let her make her own decisions. But I do feel like it's I want to expose her. We talking about exposure, right? I want to expose her to what we're doing here. You know, she's in her sophomore year of college. Still trying to figure things out. When I was a sophomore in college, I didn't know what I was gonna do.
Right.
So I had changed schools my second year, matter of fact. So everybody's path is a little different. I'm just letting her know that whenever you're ready, we're here. This is what we're doing. You can jump in, and I love to have you on board.
Nice. So outside of all of the large scale projects, I think some people forget that you're also a realtor. So I know you just went through like an eviction process with one of your properties. Talk about that. How did that go, and how long has that process been?
Man, the eviction process. I don't wish that on nobody. It's crazy, man. Somebody don't pay you, then lawyer up against you, and I'm like, yo, why don't you just pay the rent? Like, you can afford a lawyer, but you can't pay your rent. Like, man, it's crazy, man. And I'm like, yo, like, I thought I was pretty understanding. Like, hey, we'll work with you. But, if you go ghost for me on 3 months and you hadn't paid, and like, we got to do something. It's a business at the end of the day. So if you're not communicating, we got to make it do what it do. And I just don't want to go through that. I don't think it's worth the time. So with that being said, I'm selling all my one-offs. I'm only focusing on development projects and land flipping. I don't want to deal with people anymore. And I'm not saying, hold on, because we doing a build and rent on Cali townhomes, but we got a system in place. I just didn't want to do that with those one-offs. And that was a tear down anyway. So that's what we're going to tear down that house, and we're going to tear down the car wash, and that's going to be what Germantown is going to be. We're building anywhere from 11 to 33 townhomes, depending on how much density the city allows me to get. Hopefully it's more 33 than 11, because that's going to make it a better deal. Based on what I paid for the land. I got a great deal on the land, commercial land, and it's about 0.7 acres of commercial. We can go up, I think we can go up 4 stories, but I'm going to do like some town lofts. And
what's the price range you're thinking about for those?
For the town lofts, probably anywhere from $400,000 to $450,000.
Nice. Yeah. So you mentioned land flipping. Is that something you're looking to get into this year, or
so because this is the thing, I know these development deals, they take anywhere from 18 to 24 months to complete. And my thing is, man, we got to be able to eat along the way. So how can we stay in the same wheelhouse that we're already in, which is buying, entitling, and developing land? And we'll still be doing that, but some of the land that we get, we'll just be buying it, entitling it, and selling it back on the market with the entitlements. So we're getting more into land flipping right now, as well as what we're already doing, which is the long, full-scale development.
Nice.